You are not friendly. You are in a secret relationship. You can't swim. You have strict parents. You maintain a super strict diet. You will only date a Christian boy. Hey, it's Jay. Welcome back or welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing an answering assumptions video. So I asked you guys on my Instagram to send me any assumptions that you had about me or you had even heard about me. So essentially I'm going to be answering all of these assumptions, basically talking about whether they're true or false. So let's jump right into it. So the first assumption is you are not easily approachable. This is a great start to the video because this is probably the assumption that I get the most about me, because this is something I think a lot of people assume about me. Most of my closest friends used to assume this about me before we became close friends. I guess this is kind of true to an extent depending on the situation. Like one-on-one, I think I can be more approachable, but not so much in a group setting. And the reason for this, I think, maybe ties into the next assumption, which is you are not friendly. So this, in context, is true. And let me bring that context to you. I am not overly friendly or talkative at first when you meet me or like if you see me around. It takes me a while to like warm up to people, and like what I mean is get comfortable with people. So like people assume that I'm more extroverted, whereas I'm not. I'm an introvert, so I get all my energy from the inside. So like you might see me on social media or on like YouTube, especially when I'm constantly talking. I'm not that talkative in real life at first. It takes me a while to become comfortable and like even truly open up to people. Like I can count the number of people that I've opened up to on like both my hands. But once I get comfortable, I get too comfortable. You know what I mean? I guess both of those assumptions, I'm not approachable at first, yes, and I'm not friendly, also true at first, yes. But then once I get used to you and you get used to me, then yeah, I get pretty comfortable. You are in a secret relationship. The assumption of a secret relationship is false. I'm not in any secret relationships as of right now. So the next one, I'm not sure if this is an assumption, but they said you have some incredible art skills. This is true or false depending on who you ask. I'm pretty happy with my progress and where I am in terms of my art and design career, but of course there's so much left to go and so much progress left to be made. The next assumption says people's opinion are unnecessary drama. You do you better. So I assume this person thinks that I have this mindset. So first of all, thank you so much for your questions. I really appreciate them. They're so interesting to read and go through. So this is, I think, both true and untrue at the same time, in the best possible way that it could be. I'm 22, I'm still like learning and growing through life, so I don't know everything. I definitely need people's wisdom, perspective, and opinions in my life to make it through this journey. That being said, it's only a handful of people. You can't please everyone and you really don't have to. So I think as you grow up, and I think as I have grown up, I've learned to kind of discern whose opinion I really do value and whose opinion doesn't really matter to me. In that sense, I do care about the people's opinions that I do value and not so much the rest. It just makes living and going through life a lot easier. Okay, the next assumption, and this is like the funniest one in my opinion, you can't swim. LOL. Ironically, the opposite is true. Meaning, I think I'm better at swimming than I am at walking. So I've tried 3 out of the 4 water sports that we had in school, and I did 2 of them very seriously and competitively. One is regular swimming and the second one is artistic swimming, and I actually coach artistic swimming right now. Like that's one of the things that I do. The pool is like a second home to me. I used to spend a lot of my time there and I still do. And I absolutely love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. On to the next one, you love plants. I can see why you might assume that because my personal aesthetic is just me and plants. So yes, I love plants, I love photosynthesis, I'm all about that. But all of these plants that you see in all of my videos actually belong to my mother. She's very passionate about her plants and I kind of benefit from that passion, as you can see. You have strict parents. I think this is false in the like traditional brown parents kind of stereotype that we have. So they're definitely not strict that way. My sister and I have been blessed in that sense. But they're definitely no nonsense in a good way. They're madly supportive in like everything that my sister and I do. We've had the best parents that we could possibly ask for, so we're grateful. You're short. Again, this depends on who you ask. I am like 5'5", 5'6" if I'm being generous. I wouldn't say I'm short because in most like social situations in school, like in public, at uni, I don't categorize myself as short. I'm never like, but I'm also not like supermodel tall, so I'm average. I'm shorter than my parents, so I might appear shorter maybe online. I think on social media I might come off a little shorter, but I'm in the middle. I'm comfortable. Okay, next one says you have a really cool sister. And the next is you will only date a Christian boy. I wish this was an easy yes or no answer to this assumption. My sister and I kind of go into detail about this on our previous girl talk. So if you want unnecessary details, you can go check that out. But basically, I consider dating someone based on compatibility. So yes, faith is definitely very important to me, but it's not as simple as just being a Christian. So like compatibility in lifestyle, compatibility in values in general, I think are super important to me because it kind of determines the trajectory of the relationship. And I've grown up seeing an exemplary relationship like that in my parents. So I definitely hold other relationships to that same standard. And I can be kind of stubborn in the things that I strongly believe in. So yes, these things are essential to me personally. You love colorful clothes. Yes, I do. Absolutely. I love colorful clothes. But I think my wardrobe consists of certain particular colors. Lots of yellows, greens, pinks, and the neutrals just to make styling a little easier. But yes, I love a bright, bold color statement piece. Love it. Okay, next assumption says you are a very strict coach. So as I mentioned, I'm an artistic swimming coach. You'd have to ask my girls for that answer. But as a coaching policy, I don't think I'm unreasonably strict. But at the same time, I don't like to tolerate nonsense. I generally work with girls between the ages of 14 to 19. So they're very mature and disciplined. So that makes my life and my job a lot easier in that sense. The next assumption says you are always drawing and painting. I wish this was true, but unfortunately there's always like a bunch of things going on in my life, so I can't always be drawing and painting. And I also have these periods, like these creative bursts where I can just go on drawing for like days and days and hours if I have the time. But there are also some periods where I don't draw at all. And in such periods, I'm mostly like taking things in, like in my environment, on social media, seeing what I like and just filling my mind up and storing all of that in there so that for my next creative burst I have a bunch of ideas to bring to life. A great singer. So again, depends on who you ask and what you fancy. I definitely do love singing. I sing a lot at church. It's one of the ways that I serve the most. Yeah, but I never really sang in the school choir or anything. Yeah, I guess this is kind of subjective. We did used to have a YouTube channel when we were younger, so my mom kind of handled it back then, where she'd post videos of my sister and I singing at home, at church, and things like that. So that's there somewhere on the internet. You can play a lot of musical instruments. This is not entirely true. I started playing the piano. That was my first, like the instrument that I learned. But I have some trauma with regards to that. My first teacher was really horrible, and so I didn't really enjoy the piano playing experience. But I started playing guitar at 12, and that's my main instrument. I play that a lot. When I sing, when I'm composing, I use that for everything and I'm very comfortable with that. I also did learn the violin and the drums, just a little bit. Not enough to do anything with it, but just a little. So the next one says, your sister is your best friend. By the way, I love your content, keep going. Thank you so much for that. That means a lot to me. Answer your assumption. I think from people my age, she definitely is. Like, that's a no-brainer. Since we grew up on the same values and we have that understanding, we can basically like know what each other is thinking. So that makes it very easy. And I'm so glad that we're close and like I can literally talk to her anytime about anything. So it's great. I absolutely love it. But like my family, honestly, like my best friends, I can talk to them about anything. And I also really value their opinions. So that adds into it as well. So car rides and conversations at the dinner table are pretty interesting. The next one says you maintain a super strict diet. This is false. Back in school, we used to be training constantly, so we used to eat a lot of like pasta, rice, boiled eggs, and mom used to send us like double lunch boxes to school. We used to carry them around and eat. But like ever since I left school, yeah, I've not been eating as much, but I definitely have never been on a diet of any sorts. I do try to eat a little healthier now and exercise, just trying to take care of my body. But that's pretty much there is to it. You're a cat person. Unfortunately false. You put milk before cereal. As a professional cereal eater myself, the only time that this is acceptable is if you're going for seconds and absolutely no other occasion. Thank you. And the last question is, you can't ride a bicycle. False, I can. I just haven't ridden one in a long time. I learned to ride a bike when I was living in England with my family, and I used to ride a bike a lot there, but on our beloved Sri Lankan streets, that's not really a safe option, so I would love to though more. I assume this video would be a good idea. I don't know, let me know in the comments. If that was not a smooth transition, I don't know what is. It has been fun chatting with you guys. I hope you had as much fun as I did. So yeah, thanks for watching. I will see you soon. Bye.